Hi, I'm Soraya Correa, the new Executive Director of the Contract Management Institute, an organization within the National Contract Management Association. Contract Management Institute actually has been out of operation for quite some time. We've decided to relaunch the Institute because the time is right to help our profession and our professionals. Challenges are out there, our contracting profession continues to grow and develop, and we need to bring a new cadre, a new workforce in to manage all the expectations that are out there. The Contract Management Institute mission aligns perfectly with the National Contract Management Association mission. NCMA's mission is really to empower the professional, to help them grow, develop, and understand the nuances of the profession. Contract Management Institute will focus on studies and analyses, research projects that help strengthen the acquisition professional, the profession, the business processes that they use, and promote innovation, which is extremely important these days. So among the many things that we're going to be doing at the Contract Management Institute is making sure that we maintain the contract management standard that's been developed by the National Contract Management Association. We're also going to make sure that we identify any new standards, certification standards that might be needed for the profession. We're going to look at projects that promote innovation, improvement of business processes, but most importantly, what we're going to try to do is make sure that we align industry and government to work together, because the reality is our work is very similar, and so we can align those business processes and help both sides of the profession, the industry and government side of the profession. And when I refer to government, I want to be clear that that's federal, state, and local. So what's most exciting about the Contract Management Institute is that it is going to be looking at federal, state, and local government contracting professionals, along with industry contracting professionals and academia. And let me explain why that's important. What we do is really the same thing. The functions that we serve are exactly the same. We just do them from different perspectives. So what the Contract Management Institute will do is finally bring together this workforce that is represented in academia, industry, and government, identify for them what are the similarities, and help them understand the differences. And along the way, we can develop further standards and make sure that our workforce is interchangeable between the three areas. In fact, today, the federal government faces a crisis because we are understaffed when it comes to the contracting community. So by creating this opportunity for the profession, that the professionals can make their careers a little bit more interchangeable, it gives us greater opportunity to grow the workforce, develop it, but more importantly, to work better together. The easiest way to address differences between industry, government, and academia is to first identify the similarities. If people understand what are the similarities in our profession, what are the things that we're all doing, whether you're working off of the Uniform Commercial Code or the Federal Acquisition Regulation or other governing guidelines, understanding what those similarities are, what we do that we have in common, makes it easy to understand the differences. Because usually the differences have to do with perspective, from where you sit, the role that you play in the particular organization that you're in. Even within government, I would say, there are differences, but those differences are few and far between. In order to be successful, the Contract Management Institute will have to leverage partnerships and create some new partnerships. And by that, what I mean is partnerships with industry associations, other government associations, government agencies, and even academia. The importance of these partnerships cannot be understated. We learn from these partnerships. Working, for example, with organizations that represent the IT community or the construction community or even the armed services community, we learn, we grow, we develop, we bring industry, government, and academia together. And academia becomes extremely important because that's where our workforce gets developed. It is extremely important that we get out there and make sure that there are schools out there teaching our future contracting professionals the profession, the business, how to be innovative, how to be creative, and most importantly, how to develop those leaders for that profession. Contract Management Institute is not going to focus on making policy recommendations or doing that kind of activity, but what it will focus on is looking at policy, understanding policy, and seeing how policy is impacting the profession and the professional. And along the way, it may make recommendations to the National Contract Management Association or other associations that might be affected by such policies. Any good organization knows that it has to measure how successful it is. So at the Contract Management Institute, we're going to put some metrics in place to see how successful we are. We're going to look at our return on investment. We're going to look at the studies and projects that we undertake to, number one, make sure that those projects and studies are providing the information that we seek to obtain, but more importantly, that our community, the folks that will benefit from those studies, are getting the information that they need and that they're being able to use it and implement it. I'm excited about metrics because I believe in outcome-based metrics and I believe in proving the success of an organization through those metrics. For the Contract Management Institute, it's extremely important to have an online presence, to be active in social media, because we got to meet the future employees where they are. We got to meet the current employees where they are. Social media is the way to go. Today, we are bombarded with information. We receive emails from all over the place, including spam emails and all that good stuff. Folks really don't have time to rummage through all that. We can get messages across, we can get information across much faster and much more efficiently through social media. So having a social media presence is extremely important, and that helps people know where to go for answers, where to go for information, and how to work with us. Because one of the things at the Contract Management Institute we're interested in is hearing from our community. We want to know what our professionals want to know. What do they want to learn about? What do they want us to explore? So going out on social media, inviting people in to talk to us, that's one of my key objectives for the Contract Management Institute. So many people have asked me, why step into this role as the Executive Director of the Contract Management Institute, given my 40 years of service as well as my independent consultancy that I was running? Here's the reason why. I'm passionate about this profession. I believe in this profession. I didn't spend all this time in this profession not to see it be successful. And I care about the professional. I really think that the folks that are in this business and the folks that are coming into this business impact the missions that we serve. They make our government better, they make our industry better, and frankly, we need all the support that we can get. So anything that I can do to give back to a community, to a profession that I so richly enjoyed working for, well, I want to do that. I want to invite folks to come and talk to us at the Contract Management Institute. Those who know me as a former Chief Procurement Officer at the Department of Homeland Security and who've worked with me, they know I'm very open to hearing ideas, suggestions, and thoughts, and I'm always welcoming of those who might have some great ideas that we can implement through the Contract Management Institute and or through NCMA. So I'm open for business and I'm looking forward to talking to folks.